Why do some old traditional Indian homes feels much cooler even during extreme summers? While the modern apartments feel like concrete ovens. Cities are becoming hotter every year. Air conditioners are increasing, electricity consumption is rising, and urban temperatures are breaking records. But centuries ago, Indian homes were already designed to stay cool naturally. From Rajasthan's jalis to Kerala's courtyards, traditional architecture worked with nature, not against it. And maybe these forgotten ideas can actually help us to fight climate change today. Welcome to the Green Spaces by Ria. Here we explore environmental science, biodiversity, sustainability, and simple ways to make positive impact on our planet. So let's get started. When we talk about climate change, we usually think about vehicles, industries, fossil fuels, or maybe deforestation. But one major contributor often gets ignored. Do you have any guesses? It's our buildings. Globally, buildings consume an enormous amount of energy, especially for cooling and heating purpose. And as our planet gets warmer, our dependence on the air conditioners is increasing rapidly. But here's the problem. Air conditioners not only consume electricity but they also release heat outside, making the cities even more hotter. This contributes to something called as urban heat island effect, where cities become much more warmer as compared to their nearby rural or greener areas. All this happens because of concrete, asphalt, glass, and lack of greenery in the urban spaces. So in many ways, the way we design our homes is directly connected to the environment. And this is where climate responsive design becomes important. Climate responsive design simply means designing homes according to the climate of that region. Instead of fighting with nature and using excessive cooling systems, this approach uses natural light, airflow, insulation, local materials, and shading methods to create comfortable spaces naturally. And this becomes especially important in a country like India because every region experiences different climatic conditions. A house in humid Kerala cannot function the same way as a house in hot and humid Rajasthan. And Indian traditional architecture understood this whole thing perfectly. Homes were designed according to rainfall, humidity, sun exposure, local temperature patterns, which meant less energy consumption and more harmony with the nature. And as discussed already, the modern apartments are made up of materials like concrete, asphalt, glass, etc., which keep on trapping the heat energy, which keeps on increasing the indoor temperatures. So this creates a cycle. More heat, more AC usage, more electricity demand, which means more emissions and which automatically means more heat released. And at the same time, cities keep on losing the trees, wetlands, shaded areas and natural cooling systems. So the environmental problem is not outside our homes anymore. It's built into the way many homes are designed nowadays. Now let's discuss some of the ancient Indian cooling techniques that we still need today. Starting with evaporative cooling. One of the oldest Indian cooling techniques or methods used evaporative cooling. In hot and dry regions, people used khas or vetiver curtains on their windows. When sprinkled with water, these curtains cooled the incoming air through the process of evaporation naturally. It reduced the heat inside without consuming any electricity, and also it added an earthy fragrance indoors. Simple, sustainable, and effective. Now let's talk about the beautiful jalis that we see in forts and havelis. These are not just decorative. They used something called as a venturi effect. When the air is passed through these small openings, it moved faster and cooled down naturally. This improved ventilation while also reducing the harsh sunlight. Modern homes can still use these Jali-inspired designs in the form of balcony screens, partitions, or shaded facades. Next comes the terracotta cooling. Before concrete dominated construction, Indian homes used clay and terracotta extensively. But why? Simply because clay stays cooler naturally as compared to other modern materials, and terracotta absorbs moisture and helps regulate the temperature naturally. Even today, sustainable cooling systems using terracotta are getting developed. One great example is the beehive cooling system by the Cool Ant. In this, they use handcrafted terracotta cones to cool the surrounding air using the concept of water evaporation. So, ancient materials are now inspiring modern climate solutions. Next is the courtyard effect. Traditional homes often had large open courtyards at the center. These acted as natural air conditioners. As the hot air rose above, the cooler air passed through the surrounding rooms, causing natural ventilation. At the same time, these courtyards brought sunlight, fresh air, biodiversity, and greenery into the homes. This connection with nature improved both thermal comfort and mental well-being. Now, modern apartments may not always have open courtyards, but even balcony gardens, small green corners, indoor plants can really help reconnect with the nature. Moving ahead, climate-friendly materials also matter. The materials that are used to make our homes also impact the environment and even our health. Climate-responsive interiors generally include bamboo, terracotta, cane, engineered wood, natural stone, lime plaster, recycled materials, and natural clay finishes. These materials helps in regulating the indoor temperatures naturally, reducing the environmental impact, improving the air quality, and also they often require less energy to produce. Even the paints that we use really matter. Using lighter shades, heat reflective paints, and low VOC content paints can reduce heat indoors and improve the health of the individuals that are living in that house. So, sustainable homes are not only good for the planet, but they are healthier for the people that are living inside those homes. You don't really need to rebuild your house to make it climate friendly. Small changes can still make a great difference and reduce the energy consumption significantly. For example, keep the AC temperatures above 24 degrees Celsius. Use energy efficient LED lights. Improve the cross ventilation. Add cotton and linen fabrics instead of synthetic fabrics. You can stop the direct sunlight from coming into your house by using blinds, curtains, or bamboo. And also, add as many plants as you can. These small changes can really help reduce the heat, reduce the electricity usage, and the overall carbon footprint. Because sustainability is not always about massive changes. Sometimes it begins at home. Maybe sustainable living is not only about making new, smarter machines. Maybe it's about relearning the old wisdom that we have forgotten. Indian traditional architecture knew something that we are rediscovering today. Nature is not the enemy of comfort. When the homes are built with the climate and not against it, they stay healthier, reduce the environmental stress, and consume much less energy. So next time, when your room feels unbearably hot, instead of asking, should I increase the AC? Maybe ask, was this space even designed for the climate at all? If you learned something new today, subscribe to Green Spaces by Ria for more content related to climate science, environment, green living, etc. Also, tell me in the comments below which traditional Indian technique would you love to see come back to the modern homes today.